Hello students, welcome to Management Accounting class. In today's class, we will be solving one more problem on components of working capital ratio. Okay, this is the problem number 9. From the following information, calculate debtors turnover ratio, average collection period, creditors turnover ratio and debt payment period. Okay, and these are the information they have given: total sales, cash sales, then debtors at the beginning, debtors at end, bills receivable at the beginning, bills receivable at the end, total purchases, cash purchases, creditors at the beginning, creditors at the end, then bills payable, that is beginning and end. Okay, now next line, write solution, calculation of ratios. Okay, next line, write solution, calculation of ratios. Which is the first one? Debtors turnover ratio. Okay, first one is debtors turnover ratio, and the formula of debtors turnover ratio: credit sales divided by average account receivable. Okay, credit sales divided by average account receivable. Now how you will find out credit sales? Whether the amount of credit sales is given in the problem. First check, they have given total sales and cash sales. Okay, so we know that total sales is nothing but credit sales plus cash sales. Okay, we know the amount of total sales and cash sales. Okay, after deducting cash sales from the total sales, whatever balance remain, that is nothing but credit sales. Okay, so right here, next line, credit sales is equal to total sales. And what is the amount of total sales? See here, total sales is 6,40,000. So right here, 6,40,000. Okay, minus what is the amount of cash sales? Cash sales is 4 lakh. Cash sales is how much? 4 lakh. So 6,40,000 minus 4 lakh is equal to how much? 2,40,000. Okay, 6,40,000 minus 4 lakh is equal to 2,40,000. The amount of credit sales how much? 2,40,000. You understood how 2,40,000 has come? Take the total sales, from the total sales deduct the amount of cash sales, whatever balance remains, that will be the credit sales. Okay, now next one, average account receivable. We got the amount of credit sales, then next we need to find out the amount of average account receivables. The formula to find out average accounts receivable is opening debtors and opening bills receivable plus closing debtors and closing bills receivable. Okay, what is the amount of opening debtors? See here, debtors at the beginning is how much? 20,000. So right here, bracket 20,000 opening debtors we are writing. Okay, plus what is the amount of opening bills receivable? 16,000. Opening bills receivable 16,000, close the bracket, plus now again once again open the bracket, closing debtors. Now debtors at the end how much? 28,000. So write 28,000 plus what about the closing bills receivable? Bills receivable at the end is 24,000. Okay, now close the bracket, divided by 2 as it is. Now here we will be taking direct answer. Okay, you know this step. So 20,000 plus 16,000. So how much it will be? 36,000. Okay, 36,000. Next 28,000 plus 24,000. So it is 52,000. And here write 36,000 plus 52,000. Okay, 52,000. So 36,000 plus 52,000 is 88,000. So 88,000 divided by 2 is equal to 44,000. Understood? So this is the amount of average accounts receivable. How we have calculated this? Opening debtors and opening bills receivable plus closing debtors and closing bills receivable divided by 2. It is 44,000. Now next line, right, therefore we got the amount of credit sales as well as average accounts receivable. Now put both these amount into the formula. What is the formula? Credit sales divided by average accounts receivable. So therefore debtors turnover ratio is equal to, next line, right, debtors turnover ratio is equal to credit sales. How much? Here you can check. Amount of credit sales is 2,40,000. Okay, so right here credit sales 2,40,000 divided by amount of average accounts receivable 44,000. Okay, average account receivable how much? 44,000. Okay, so 2,40,000 divided by 44,000 is equal to how much? 5.45. Okay, so next line, right, therefore debtors turnover ratio is 5.45 times. Understood? 5.45 times. Okay. Now we got the answer of debtors turnover ratio. Now what is the next question? We need to calculate second ratio, that is average collection period. And what is the formula of average collection period or debtors collection period? So right here, debtors turnover ratio is equal to, debtors collection period or average collection period ratio is equal to months or days in a year divided by debtors turnover ratio. Okay, so we'll take here days, 365 days divided by how much is debtors turnover ratio? It is 5.45. Okay, how much? 5.45. 0.45. Now calculate 365 divided by 5.45 is equal to how much? Answer will be 66.9. So it is 67 days. 67 days. If you want to convert this into the month, multiply by 30, you will get the answer. Okay, 2 months, 2 days or something. Okay, so this is the debtors collection period ratio. How much is the debtors collection period? 67 days. Understood? Now third one is creditors turnover ratio. Okay, third one is creditors turnover ratio. So next line, right, creditors turnover ratio. What is the formula of creditors turnover ratio? Creditors turnover ratio is equal to credit purchases divided by average accounts payable. Okay, credit purchases divided by average accounts payable. First we'll calculate credit purchases. Okay, to calculate credit purchases, either of two out of these three, any two information we should know, then only we can find out third one. Now here we know the amount of total purchases. Here they have given. Okay, see here in the problem. Here total purchases how much? 9,60,000. And cash purchases how much? 25% of credit purchases. Okay, so first to find out like cash purchases, we should know what is the amount of credit purchases. Okay, So next line, write calculation of cash purchases. Okay, because to find out credit purchases we should know the amount of cash purchases, right? Okay, and what they have given regarding cash purchases, cash purchases is 25% of credit purchases. Okay, 25% of credit purchases. So next line, right here, enter cash purchases is 25% of credit purchases. Okay, 25% of credit purchases. And how much is the credit purchases? We don't know because they have not given in the problem. So next line you can write here, credit purchases is question mark. Why question mark? Because they have not given in the problem. Okay, now here we can calculate the amount of credit purchases this way. Okay, so next line, write suppose if we consider, okay, so next line, write if credit purchases is, if we take 100, why 100? Because what they have told, 25% of credit purchases is cash purchases. So we assume that credit purchases is 100%. Okay, so credit purchases is 100%. If we add cash purchases in credit purchases, we will get the total purchases. Okay, so right here, add cash purchases. What is the amount of cash purchases? It is 25%. They have not given the amount, so we will take here 25. For 100 it is 20. Okay, so 25. Understood? Now next line, write $100 plus 25. How much? 125. Now what is this 125? This is total purchases. Okay, 125 is what? Total purchases. You understood? Credit purchases we have considered as 100 per 100. Okay, so 25% on 100 will be 25. So 100 plus 25 is total purchases. So write in front of 125 total purchases. Okay, so we'll write here total purchases. How much? 125. You understood how this 125 has come? 100 plus 25. 100 is what? Credit purchases, and 25 is cash purchases. Okay, now this is the percentage of total purchases, but we know the amount of total purchases, right? They have given in the problem. How much is the amount of total purchases? It is 9,60,000. So with a simple mathematical calculation we can find out the amount of credit purchases. Okay, so see here, if total purchases is 125%, right? Okay, if total purchases is 125 person, or we can write this way, for 125 it is how much? For 125% of total purchases, amount is how much? 9,60,000. Okay, so we'll write this way. Okay, see here, if total purchases is 125%, then credit purchase is how much? 100%, right? If total purchases are 9,60,000, then how much is the amount of credit purchases? Okay, that we don't know. We need to find out. So it is simple mathematical calculation. So here we'll write 9,60,000 into now first what? 100 okay, 100 okay, 100 divided by 125 into 9,60,000, okay, into 9,60,000. We will get the amount of credit purchases. Okay, how we have calculated this amount? See here, total purchases percentage how much? 125. If total purchases is 125%, the amount of purchases are how much? 9,60,000. Okay, and if credit purchases is 100%, what is the amount of credit purchases? Okay, so simple mathematical calculation, cross multiplication, 100 divided by 125 into 9,60,000 is equal to 7 lakh. We'll write here in the next line, 7,68,000. Okay, so how much is credit purchases? 7,68,000. Understood? 100 divided by 125% into 9,60,000 is equal to 7,68,000. 7,68,000. This is the amount of credit purchases. Okay. Now with the help of total credit purchases and total purchases, we can find out the amount of cash purchases. Okay, here we have written calculation of cash purchases. So next line, write cash purchases is equal to total purchases. How much is the amount of total purchases? Minus credit purchases. Minus what? Credit purchases. Okay, the amount of total purchases how much? It is 9,60,000. Okay, 9,60,000 minus cash credit purchases how much? We have calculated how much? 7,68,000. 7,68,000. Okay, so is equal to, next line, right, 9,60,000 minus 7,68,000 is equal to 1,92,000. Okay, 1,92,000. You can verify 25% of 7,68,000. You will get the same amount. Okay. $1,92,000. I hope you understood calculation of credit purchases. Okay. Here once again we'll check here. Cash purchases how much? 25% of credit purchases. And how much is credit purchases? We were not knowing amount of credit purchases. Okay, usually we calculate how we calculate credit purchases. Total purchases minus cash purchases. Okay, but here we did not have the amount of cash purchases. We were about to calculate the cash purchases. So we have calculated cash purchases. Cash purchases is how much? 25% of credit purchases, and we don't know the amount of credit purchases. Suppose if we take credit purchases as 100, then cash purchases will be how much? 25%. So 100 plus 25 is 125. Why? But 25 it is given in the problem. 25% of credit purchases. So 25% of 100 is 25. So total how much? 125% will be the percentage of total purchases. If total purchases is 125%, amount is 9,60,000. Okay, and if credit purchases 100%, how much is the amount? So simple mathematical calculation, 100 divided by 125 into 9,60,000, we will get the amount of cash purchases. Sorry, amount of credit purchases. And how we can calculate amount of cash purchases? Either we can calculate 25% of 7,68,000 or total purchases minus credit purchases. Okay, amount will be same, 1,92,000. Now we got the amount of credit purchases. Now next we have to find out what? Average account payables. What is the formula of average account payables? Opening debtors and opening bills payable. Sorry, opening creditors and opening bills payable plus closing creditors and closing bills payable. What is the amount of opening creditors here? See, creditors at the beginning how much? 80,000. So write in the bracket 80,000. Okay, plus creditors over bills payable. How much is the opening bills payable? 28,000. Okay, close the bracket, plus again open the bracket. Closing creditors how much? Creditors at the end 72,000. Okay, plus how much is the bills payable? Bills payable at the end 32,000. Okay, so 80,000 plus 28,000, how much? 1,08,000. Okay, how much is the answer? 1,08,000. Plus 72,000 plus 32,000. Okay, it is how much? 1,04,000. Okay, so 1,08,000 plus 1,04,000 divided by 2 is equal to how much? 1,06,000. Okay, 1,08,000 plus 1,04,000 is equal to 2,12,000. So 2,12,000, here we can write 2,12,000 divided by 2 is equal to how much? 1,06,000. Okay, understood how this 1,06,000 has come? 1,06,000. Now put both the values into the formula. Okay, first is what? Credit purchases. How much is the credit purchases? This 7,68,000. And how much is average accounts payable? 1,06,000. So therefore right here, creditors turnover ratio is equal to 7,68,000 divided by average accounts payable. How much is average accounts payable? 1,06,000. Okay, so calculate this, how much answer will come? 7,68,000 divided by 1,06,000 is equal to how much? 7.25. So creditors turnover ratio is how much? 7.25 times. 7.25 times. What is this 7.25 times? It means that whatever amount of credit purchases they have done, average how much amount they have paid, like whatever amount they have paid, their credit purchases is more than how much? 7.25 times. Okay, they have just paid 1,06,000, but their actual credit purchase is how much? 7.68,000, which is more than 7.25 times. Not percentage, it is times. Okay, now last one is creditors collection payment period ratio. What is the formula? Same, days or month in a year, days or months in a year divided by creditors turnover ratio. Here same again we will be taking 365 days divided by how much is creditors turnover ratio? Just now we have calculated 7.25%. 7.25 time. 7.25 times. $7.25. Okay, so calculate 365 divided by 7.25. Okay, so next line write, it is 50 days. Okay, equal to 50 days. Okay, answer is 50 days. If you want to convert into the months, you can multiply with 30. You will get the amount of this period in the form of month. Okay, I hope you understood the calculation of all the ratios. Okay, which all ratios we calculated today? Debtors turnover ratio, creditors turnover, debtors collection period ratio, creditors turnover ratio, and debt payment period ratio. Okay, how much is the debtors turnover ratio? See here, 5.45 times. Okay, and how much debtors collection period? Formula is this, days in a year divided by debtors turnover. How much debtors turnover ratio? 5.45. Okay, and how much it is? 67 days. And creditors turnover ratio, credit purchases divided by average accounts payable. Creditors turnover ratio is how much? 7.25 times, whereas collection payment period is how much? 50 days. Okay, so these are the components of working capital ratios. I hope you understood the calculation. In the next class we will be starting with the last classification of ratios, that is profitability ratios. Okay, thank you.